An Oman sprint self-supported race coming up in about 6 days, 5 days. Anyway, I'm super excited. So it is a 1,000 kilometre sprint race in the Middle East. So Oman is near Dubai. We start in Muscat, which is the capital. I just wanted to run through with everyone what I'm taking. So normally I do a little bit of kind of a kit list before every race I do, because every race is different. You really have to use your kit around where you are and what you're going. So let's run through, the basic stuff first, and I'll get through to a little bit more about what I'm using. So start with shoes, helmet, bit of clothing, not much. It's going to be pretty warm, 30 to 40 degrees. So a nice thin jersey, shorts. Here's an important one. I don't wear bib shorts. I just wear normal shorts like this. Still padded, but it just means that it's a little bit easier if you get a moment. If you need a moment, to say the least. Light pair of socks, arm warmers and leg warmers. You're probably thinking that's a bit crazy in the Middle East, but at midnight, at the top of some of the big climbs, it can get to like minus temperatures or like 5 degrees, so you need to be warm. That can ruin a race by being cold in that kind of conditions. Gloves as well, like you always prepare for every scenario, and having like extra stuff really helps. My shoes, the Shimano S5s, I should have cleaned them before I did this, but you are not going to get a better shoe than this, full stop. Actually going SPD SLs, a lot of people say SPDs, but I just like the bigger base, just feels a lot nicer on my feet. Yeah, them shoes are rocking, I love these, so cool. They don't even smell like compared to my other shoes, it's crazy. So yeah, so happy with them, really, really happy with that. Water, so I've got two 750ml bottles and a litre. So that puts me at about 2.5 litres, which might not be enough, but I always carry a big frame bag so I can put extra water in if I need it, if it's going to be a long night or something like that. Little food pouch, rear bag, sleeping stuff. I have the Electrolyte Tablets, the Climate, which is very good, very high rated mat. Bivy bag, just cheap and cheerful one, but it does the job, it's waterproof. Happy days. I think that was like a 10 off Amazon, which is quite funny. On top of that, I have a down jacket. It does go a lot smaller than this, but yeah, that's my down jacket. So that probably will do me for sleeping in this kind of thing. I'm used to a lot colder conditions in the UK, so I don't really feel like I need to take too much sleeping wise, to be fair. Felix Adventure Cat, he's the most important thing in this whole race. He's so excited. Dry pouch with some lithium-ion batteries in, which is really important. Always carry extra batteries, whether it be for your lights. In this case, it's my tracker, which is going to be really important. And yeah, like I say, if it starts raining or you're going a place where it's going to get wet, you always take a pouch. So important. Dry lube, because why would you use wet lube in the desert? Sun cream. Sun cream's really important because very high, 50 plus. Because I'm just going to get burnt. So it's like 5 to 10 degrees here in the UK at the minute, 10 being the maximum, and then going straight to like 35 degrees. Yeah, that's a really important thing. Same with like lip balm, just so your lips don't dry out too much and stuff like that. Really important to look after yourself. Some people really lose their sense of safety and understanding what they should be taking sometimes because they get so excited. And unorganisation is the key to a big loss, it really is. Toothbrush, because you're going to be in public, so clean your teeth. Paracetamol, always take a couple of packs. You're going to hurt eventually, it just takes the edge off a little bit. Caffeine tablets, if you're riding at night, you need to keep a little bit of an edge about yourself. I don't say this because you just want to be kind of shaking so much from caffeine rush. You just want to be alert so you're not doing anything silly or falling asleep on the bike. It's really important, that's safety first. Electrolyte tablets, that's an important one. Got to replace the salts, guys. Rule number 1, food is key, drink is key. Plasters, it's a given. And Sudocrem. So you probably noticed that there's no chamois there. I don't use chamois. I don't really find the need to it. Good half decent set of bib shorts and a bit of Sudocrem normally does it. I always use Sudocrem because it's an antiseptic as well, so it kind of got a little bit more healing power as well. So it's thick, but it works a lot better for me. But you know, some people just rely on chamois. It's not really been my thing. Always use this or nothing, to be honest with you. Plasters, you never know if you're going to get a blister or a cut or anything like that. You know, stop getting anything inside it. You always just kind of take something. Let's get to the interesting stuff now. So, a cafe lock. It's not going to stop someone for more than 2 or 3 minutes, but you know, that's all you need sometimes. Another useful little thing. This is a strap, and this is what came off an old pedal I had. Really handy, just for wrapping around things and pulling them together. So when I go on gravelly parts, I wrap them around the side of my bottles so my bottles don't fall out the rear cages. On top of that, this is probably one of the most useful items you will get on bike packing, and not many people do this. I think I'm one of the advocates of this. It's just a drawstring bag, and you can get a Shimano one that looks that badass. One of them is good. So it's always handy because if you're going through a long night and you're in the Middle East and you need food and water and a lot of food, take it on your back, you know, until you've got enough space in your bag, just take it on the back. You know, it's important. It weighs nothing, you know, it doesn't take up any space, and that's a real lifesaver. You know, it's a really big thing, so never forget the importance of taking a little bag just to carry extra stuff. For me, I'm going to be doing a lot of videoing, so I've got my GoPro chest strap, and that's where I keep my GoPro the majority of the times. Got to get some good action clips for you guys, haven't I? Spare battery for that as well, which is quite cool. Multi-tool, that'll do. You know, happy days. Always go for a light one. This one's a bit heavy duty, but I'll probably go for a light one eventually. One thing I am missing is a survival blanket, and that's really important. Mine should be in the post tomorrow. But yeah, survival blanket is key. Always have a backup, especially when you're going to be on your own. Self-supported. Toilet paper, we know what that's for. Nosebleeds. Then I've got my phone, which is actually in my pocket, and a charger for that, which is very important yet again. On top of this, I want to talk about my tubeless. So I've got a tubeless setup. So I don't really need too much puncture-wise. I take a couple, just in case, you know, in case I puncture both or get big rips in both, because it's going to be a lot of gravel. So precaution, so I'm taking 2. Bear in mind that's probably a little bit big for what I'm doing. It'll be 2 of those. But and then a pump. You can get away with a half-decent design pump. I really rate these. They're not expensive. And they are very good. You know, it takes, I don't know, 80 pumps to do a tyre up. But yeah, it's doable. Happy days. Spare chain links, that's important. Always take chain links. You know, I've never needed them before, but it's the day I leave the house without them, I'll need them. That's the thing. Then tyre lever. Don't get the tiny little crappy ones. You're going to get nowhere with them. Just get a decent big one that's going to work. You know, especially when it's 3 in the morning and you've been up for like 24 hours and you're sitting there with a little one pulling your own fingers off. You know, fine. You know, if you want to do that, fine. But if not, just use a half decent one. They weigh nothing. It's going to be stronger. It's actually going to work properly for you, and that's the key. Okay, so now the important stuff, guys. I've done pretty much everything, and I've left one till later. So I'm going to do a separate video about my lighting setup. I will show you how I power myself, because a lot of people use a dyno, but I don't. I'm not really, never really used a dyno, so I can't say I'm, you know, biased to battery. I'm just saying this is the setup I use because it's light, it's efficient, it's quick. Okay, so lighting's very important. So I start with saying that I have 2 rear lights. One is battery powered and goes quite nicely like this. I like the Night Rider one, which is quite cool. Sorry. And then I've got a little USB one, which is chargeable. So this is always used at night. They're both on. You know, better to be safe than sorry. You know, it's a real key. You know, I've had some really close calls on trips, especially at night. It's very easy to get, you know, complacent with what you're doing. So always take 2 lights. Don't be silly. You know, flashing lights. One on constant, one flashing. Happy days. Front lights. I have 2. So this one's quite an important one. This one is, I can't really do it here because I'm going to completely wake my neighbours up. So this one is flashing, which is very cool. It's called an orb, and it flashes a lot, and it's constant, which is very good. But it's also got a big alarm on it, so you push it down and it screams, and that's really good if you get wild dogs and stuff like that. I just found it really handy. It's USB chargeable as well, 150 lumens, but it's a really good backup light, you know, and it's just a really good alarm in case you're getting chased by a dog, because the sound is so loud, it really does scare them off, and that's really important, and it weighs next to nothing, very easy to plumb in, you know, happy days, happy days. On top of that, I have a Cat Eye Volt 800, you know, I've been using this for probably a year and a half now, and I love it, I think it's brilliant. The reason why I use a Cat Eye Volt 800, the battery life is very long. So the batteries here are 3000 milliamp, and this is something that I'm just going to quickly explain, and I will go into a lot more in another video. They're detachable, so this is key. So you can carry more than one battery. So I've got one here, and I have another one here. So you can be using one while charging the other. So this is important. And if you need a little bit of extra juice, these also, in the charging port you can buy, you can either charge the battery like I say, or you can charge your phone or USB stuff. So that's really important, really handy to have these. And on top of that, so this is 3000 in one of the batteries, or 3100 if you would like me to be precise, and 3100 in the other, so that's 6000 altogether. Then on top of that, if you're gonna buy portable batteries, buy decent ones. And I'm saying this because I learned the hard way many times. You can buy ones with crappy little solar panels on and all that stuff, but you're going to be sitting out for a whole day before they even charge. So realistically, buy anchors. Now you're probably thinking, why have I got 3 separate little anchors? Okay, it's really important to actually be able to charge them quickly. A 25,000 milliamp one, I don't know what happened there, which is very impressive, but it's going to take a day and a half to charge. By using smaller 5,000 milliamp singles, you can charge them in 4 hours. So if you get to a place and you want to go to sleep, you've got 5 or 6 hours. You can charge these and these, which altogether comes to 21,000 milliamps worth of battery, a lot quicker than you can charge a big one. A little bit of weight sacrifice there, but completely worth it. And these charge everything else very quickly. So, how are you going to charge them quickly? You need to be smart, use an adapter. A friend of mine gave me this, it's really cool. So Europe one side, fantastic. USA the other, ding dang do, UK the other. It's not a plug, it's just got 4 USB sockets in there. And then, so that means I can charge 4 through there, use a split on one of them. I can actually charge all my batteries within 4 or 5 hours, which is very impressive. So that's a really quick way of doing it. I normally carry a spare one of them as well, to be fair, but this time, so it's just 3 days, I'm not really going to worry too much about it. Drawback of doing that is you have a few more cables, but when they're that small and they weigh nothing, it's okay. So I keep 2 or 3 little USB ones, and then you get the odd handy one, which looks like that. One USB at the end and does pretty much everything. So this is a really good backup for your Garmin lead, it's a good backup for your phone. This one is an extender, and that's because my rear light has got a really dodgy fitting on the end, so it's kind of just like a USB slide thing. So this kind of helps me just push it around, but also because it's lengthy, it means that I can be charging stuff at the front of the bike and everything can be safely in the bag. So when it is raining, I can actually have all my stuff nice and waterproof and just one lead coming out the top so I don't damage anything, so that's really important. So, like I say, I'm missing a few things. Survival blanket. Passport's always a good thing to take as well. Survival blanket. I'm considering taking a sleeping bag. I don't really know yet. I've planned my route, and my route really does warrant me not needing a sleeping bag, so I'll probably go without, to be fair, because it's a lot of weight and it means that I probably have to take an extra bag. This is the food bag. This goes on the top of the frame at the front. This is the rear bag. This will take all my sleeping stuff in, stuff that I'm not using day to day. This is the important one. This is one where you can get inside and it's nice and on the frame. So nice and simple, nice and easy. That is the setup, guys. Got any questions? Please leave them down here. There's probably a few things I've forgotten. Feel free to let me know. You know, especially now it's kind of like 5 days before I race. Yeah, feel free to let me know as soon as possible. But yeah, no, it's a good little setup. You know, I will go into the bike later, but I'm going to do a separate video for that. So this is the kit list video, and the bike video will come probably in a day or two. Enjoy, guys. Stay cool.